Hello and good evening from Midtown Manhattan. I'm on 57th and 5th Avenue, also known as Billionaire's Row. And you can see Bulgari? Not me exposing myself as far as pronunciation of these names. Tiffany right there, Louis Vuitton.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No worries. As well as sorry about that. The Louis Vuitton luggage sets. Yeah, vibes. So, looking at Van Cleef right here. And then next door to it is the Bergdorf Goodman. So they actually have two across the street from each other. Can't see it with the bus in the way. So they have the women's store and the men's store. I didn't know this until I started doing some research on some of these buildings and coming down here. And it's like, why do they have two Bergdorf Goodmans? I don't know if you can see that. The bus is in the way, but yeah. There's that Bergdorf Goodman. And there's this one. So this one is 754 5th Avenue, which is the women's store. It was designed by the architectural firm Eli Jacques Kahn, yeah, with partnership Buchman and Kahn, and it was completed in 1927 to 1928. And then, across the street is 745 5th Avenue, which is the men's store. Okay. So this building, which is the women's store, its architectural style is described as modern classical, French classical, sometimes called modern classical, with French Renaissance influences to harmonize with the neighboring buildings. It is landmarked. And this site actually had originally had the Cornelius Vanderbilt II's mansion. So yeah. And it is, again, like I said, a landmark building. And then this building is 745 5th Avenue, which is the men's store for Bergdorf Goodman. And it has an Art Deco style, which is a little bit different from across the street from the women's store. And this one opened in 1990. As far as the men's store for Bergdorf Goodman. But the building was built in 1930. So, and it actually had the same architectural firm that designed the women's store, but the men's store opened in 1990. Very interesting. Okay, so walking down 5th Avenue, down we go. This is 5th and 58th. Plaza New York, iconic hotel. Apple store. We're on 58th. We're passing 58th and 5th. Huge Apple store. And Montclair is next to there. New York, land of the scaffolding. Sometimes the scaffolding comes in handy, especially in bad weather like rain or the sun is too bright, looking for shade. Don't knock the scaffolding until you need it. And there's always something under construction, and Of course, they have local law 11, make sure the bricks are not falling on people's heads. So they're always constantly making sure that these buildings are maintained and safe for public. Ooh, I'm out here on the street, child. Walking down Fifth Avenue. Again, the Plaza Hotel. Statue here.
I don't know, like something.
Ooh. So, to our right, we have 1 East 60th Street, also known as the Metropolitan Club. Also a landmarked building. It was founded in 1891 by J.P. Morgan and other wealthy New Yorkers after membership dispute at the Union Club. This was designed by the legendary firm McKean, Mead and White between 1891 and 1894. Isn't that gorgeous? And again, it is a New York City landmark designated in 1979. Okay. The exterior was designed by Stanford White, one of the famous partners of McKean, Mead and White. Okay. And in 1912, the club expanded by acquiring a neighboring house, later redesigned by Ogden Codman Jr. Okay. Yeah, beautiful, beautiful building. Just love how it looks. I believe they had it available in the market not too long ago. As far as like commercial space. If you go on LoopNet, should be able to see the previous commercial listing details for this building. Built in 1891, has around 96,000 square feet in the interior, the building size. And the typical floor size would be around 15 to 16,000 square feet with 14-foot ceilings. As you can see, these windows are kind of far apart, like vertically. Yeah, so they had like it was a duplex commercial unit that was available. They didn't put the price online, obviously, inquire for pricing. But yeah, we have commercial offices in here. And it is, again, the Metropolitan Club. It is a clubhouse. Can reserve the space as a member for events and such, but it's such a beautiful building. Okay, moving on along. As you can see, we have Central Park to our left. And Central Park was the first part of the park was open to the public in 1858, and it took 15 years to complete. But being able to experience Central Park in 2025, being part of the old history, and just seeing how New York has developed over the centuries still amazes me. Okay, so back to Fifth Ave. This is the Pierre. So tall. So gorgeous. It's a hotel. It was designed by Schultz and Weaver, the same architects behind the Waldorf Astoria. Astoria, sorry, not Historia, the Waldorf Astoria. Yeah, opened in 1930, which was right after the stock market crash. Has 41 stories, pretty tall, 525 feet tall. It is named after a French restaurateur. The hotel was founded by Charles Pierre Casalasco, a Corsican-born restaurateur known simply as Pierre, who envisioned it as the most refined hotel in New York. So it is managed, well, it operates as a Taj managed luxury hotel with co-op residences on its upper floors. So let's see, the last unit, let's see if they have anything currently available. No available units, okay. Okay, so there was a unit that went off market this month. 3-bed, 3-bath. This is, I believe, on the 23rd floor for $3,998, $4 million. 3-bed, 3-bath. It is a co-op. Monthly maintenance is around $14,948. Yeah. Around 14 to 15K for monthly maintenance on the 3-bed, 3-bath, running for around $4 million. Pretty renovated. Yeah, so that's that. The Pierre. Moving along 5th Avenue, as you can see the park to our left, Central Park. Aren't the trees beautiful during fall in Manhattan? All the leaves are changing and falling, as the name of the season says. Moving along 5th Avenue. All our buses. It's around like 4:30, so you got a mixture of people getting out of work, school, all kinds of things. Okay, so this is the Knickerbocker building right here. The red brick building. Ooh, gorgeous, gorgeous buildings. 807 5th Avenue, the Knickerbocker Club. So it's another landmarked building, as you can see. So beautiful. No scaffolding to get in our way of observing this beautiful structure. The mansion was actually commissioned by Josephine Schmid, widow of a brewer, as part of her desire for social status and architectural grandeur. This design is leaned towards a French chateau style with Gothic tracery and conical towers, giving it a dramatic, romantic European flair. Besides this deer truck coming in front of it, has all the elegance. There you go. Let's see. Yes, has all the elegance of a chateau. So pretty. Okay. So the Knickerbocker Club actually purchased this property back in 1914, and the mansion was demolished shortly after. So this, the mansion is not here. This is what the Knickerbocker built instead in 1914. But yeah, it's such a beautiful building. Okay, moving along down Fifth Avenue to see the other pretty buildings. Look at that, 811 Fifth Avenue. Gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. This building is so intricately detailed, so beautiful. It's so much better in person. So much better in person. So I believe this is 820, yes, Fifth Avenue. Let's get a better look at this building from this angle. So this building was designed by the firm Starrett and Van Vleck and completed in 1916. The building is styled as a neo-Italian Renaissance, if you are interested to know what this kind of design is. A palazzo style, limestone palazzo, okay? Like, it's so different, like especially when you're seeing it in person, it just stands out, in my opinion. The building has 12 apartments total, 10 full floor units, plus 2 duplex maisonettes on the lower 2 floors. So, yeah, these apartments are massive. Each full floor apartment has grand features such as 6,500 square feet, 5 beds, 6.5 baths, 7 servant rooms, multiple fireplaces, and a 44-foot gallery as a reception corridor. So like these are huge apartments. And really thick walls, around 2.5 feet thick. Ceilings are around 11 feet high, so really high ceilings. So it was originally built as a rental building and then converted into a co-op in 1949. They have really strict co-op rules, as some of y'all has probably heard with some of these trendy New York City addresses. 825th is known for all cash purchases, no mortgages allowed, and it demands buyers to have liquid assets about 10 times the purchase price. Kind of insane, right? So speaking of that, let's see how much units go for in here. Oh, okay, so they sold one of the maisonettes back in June of this year, June 2025. 4-bed, 5.5 bath, 14 mil, y'all. 14 mil, 14 M's. Monthly maintenance, you're looking at $22,000 a month. Okay? Fifth Ave. And this is 5th and 63rd. Don't know if you can see from here, but yeah, it's 5th and 63rd. Gorgeous building though. Okay, moving along. Moving along 5th. Again, Central Park to our left. Okay. Bear with me. It's like I'm doing these like as a way for me to learn the neighborhood, these videos, and researching and learning the neighborhood at the same time. And I figured I might as well record and document my findings as I get to learn and explore all of these neighborhoods deeply and show you all what I'm learning. Okay, moving right along. So we are at 64th and 5th. Like, look at that. One of the old Gilded Age mansions that left me behind. Okay, moving right along. Ooh. So this building here, 825 Fifth Ave, is actually a co-op building. So it's not this is 838 Fifth Ave, 828 Fifth Ave. So not the Gilded Age mansion that left behind, a building next to it, 825 Fifth. Let's go back so we can talk about it a little bit. So this is actually next to 820 that we just gushed over, or that I just gushed over. So this one is 825 Fifth Avenue. This was designed by J.E. Carpenter, who was one of New York's foremost luxury apartment architects back in the early 20th century. So that's this building next to 820 Fifth Ave. Okay. So it was actually built as a co-op with 77 units, and then later it consolidated so that today approximately there are 64 units or 64 apartments that remain out of the 77 original. So a lot of combination units. So in this building, they have 2 units that are available. One is under contract. The 1 bed, 1.5 bath is under contract. And they were asking $1,095,000. And the monthly maintenance is around $3,200, $3,260 for this 1 bed. That's for $1 million, a little over $1 million. And then they have a 2 bed, 2 bath available for $4.8 million. Monthly maintenance around $83.30. Okay. So compared to some of the buildings it's neighboring, the monthly maintenance seem pretty decent around this side right here. Okay, moving along. Ooh, another, at least like the bottom 3 levels, the facade is gorgeous, gorgeous stone. For me. I don't know, what do y'all think? Do y'all agree, or are y'all not agree? Y'all not feeling what I'm saying? Let me know in the comments. Okay, so this is 834 Fifth Avenue here, which is also a co-op building. Some fun facts. This is actually a Rosario Candela designed building, and he's one of just those famous architects from back in the day. Yeah, one of the main developers of the Upper East Side. Okay. So this building actually rises 16 stories and contains 24 apartments. Okay. So sounds like it's, the building looks big, so I would assume with it having 24 apartments, the units should be big, right? Has the limestone facade. Units range about 3,500 square feet to about 7,000 square feet. And the largest unit is around 10,000 square feet in the building, which is pretty massive. 11 to 12 foot ceilings in the common rooms. Very strict co-op building. This also requires all cash, no mortgages allowed. And rumors suggest that the co-op board expects buyers to have liquid assets many times the purchase price, similar to the building down the block. But this is Fifth Ave, so it's expected. So notable residents and owners over the years includes Lawrence Rockefeller, Rupert Murdoch, Elizabeth Arden, Charles Schwab, Woody Johnson, among others. So you know, this building is one of those ones. That girl, per se. Excuse the accent. But yeah, just wanted to share that. Let's see what let's see the price points. So they have nothing available for sale or for rent. So the last unit that was on the market was one of the Millionaire units, 5 bed, 3.5 baths, 5,200 square feet was last on the market. It was sold actually in March 2025 for 14.75 M's. 14.75 million, y'all. 5 bed, 3.5 bath, 5,200 square feet, which is really big when you think about it. Monthly maintenance, $20,106 a month. Okay? All right. So that's what you can expect for a 5 bed, 4.5 bath, 5,200 square feet, Millionaire unit on Fifth Ave, and this is 64th. Okay. All cash, remember? All cash. Moving right along. Got the synagogue right there. Going on 65th. Ooh. Upper East Side in the fall. It's a Friday. Actually, today is November 7th that I'm recording this. So this is what a Friday in November looks like in the Upper East Side. Around 4:41 p.m. Friday evening, early evening. It's beautiful. Except for, you know, the constant stuff we're doing to maintain this beautiful city. Can't have it falling apart. Okay, so coming up here, we're looking at one of the Gilded Age mansions. This is 854 Fifth Avenue. It was designed by Warren and Wetmore, famous for a Grand Central Terminal. But they built this particular mansion in 1903 to 1905. Okay. The style is Beaux-Arts with strong French classical influences. A grand mini palace built during, again, the Gilded Age on Fifth Ave. It is pretty narrow. It's like in a pocket with all of these bigger buildings. Here's this Gilded Age leftover mansion. Pretty cool piece of history. It is a landmark, New York City individual landmark. The building's more recent use includes serving as the former permanent mission of Yugoslavia and subsequent successor states to the United Nations. So in a recent real estate transaction, it was reported to have sold for around $50 million in cash. Okay. $50 million, all cash, back in 2019. Has around 20,000 square feet. Again, it's a commercial building. In 2019 would have been the first time it sold in like 70 years. So rare, one of those rare ones that rarely come on the market. Okay, moving down Fifth Avenue.
This is where you ride your bike, and that's where you do it.
So we're coming up. We're coming up to 860 Fifth Avenue with the terraces. Not 857. 860. I thought it looked cool, and I kind of wanted to see more about it. So the building was designed by Sylvan Bean and completed in 1950. It occupies the site of the former mansion of Thomas Fortune Ryan, marking the transition from Millionaire's row mansions to luxury apartment living. The building is best described as a post-war mid-century luxury co-op, okay, with the recessed balconies. Okay. So pretty. Well, as pretty as it can be. I just love that it has balconies and some are enclosed, some are open. It's pretty different for this block, Fifth Avenue. Modern. It's around 21 stories tall and has around 153 to 157 apartments. Offers full service living and resident manager, doorman, attendant elevators when it was first built. Yeah, so this is this is considered like a mid-century luxury apartment. Okay, let's see what units we're going for recently in this building. Co-op building. Oh, they have a few listings available in this building, ranging between 1 beds to 4 beds. Yeah. So let's see here. They got 2-bed for 1.1 compared to what we saw down the block. This might not be such a bad deal. Okay, and we got monthly maintenance of around $3,500 for the 2-bed. 2-bed, 2-bath. Yeah. Doesn't have a terrace for that particular unit, but it is 1.1. They have a 1-bed for 1.2, 1-bed, 1.5 bath. They have another 2-bed, 2-bath for around 16 or 1.595. Monthly maintenance of around 3,600. So there you have it. They have a 3-bed for almost 6 million, and then a 4-bed for almost 7 million, and then another 4-bed for 10 million. So a lot of but the one for 10 million is obviously, it's not, I shouldn't say obvious, but it's on the penthouse level and has around 3,300 square feet. Monthly maintenance of 15,000. So, you know, the bigger the unit, the more the monthly maintenance is going to be, from what I've observed. Sorry it's late. It's been a long day. And I'm like, you know, I gotta do this. I gotta do this walk, study the market, and record my journey. So we're if you hear me stuttering, if you hear me not having gaps in my sentences, I do apologize, because I am definitely not editing this. I'm just going to post it as is. It's meant to be long form content anyway. You can walk and talk with me as I walk down Fifth Avenue and hopefully enjoy the same views I'm enjoying, or enjoy it the same way I'm enjoying these views. Okay, so that was 860 Fifth Avenue. Walking along Fifth Avenue with Central Park to our left. I am walking north up Fifth Avenue.
You don't even start, but I get out.
Okay. Gorgeous, gorgeous buildings. Scaffolding. Ooh. Ooh. So many buildings, one block. Okay? But still gorgeous. Variety of options. So this building on the end right here is 884 5th Avenue, aka 2 East 70th Street. This is an Emery Roth designed building. He's also one of New York's, starchitects back in the day. He was one of New York's most influential apartment architects, responsible for landmarks like the San Remo and the Beresford Upper West Side buildings. This particular building was built in 1928, completed right before the Great Depression. And this building represents the height of 1920s Fifth Avenue luxury living. It is, if you were to see this in person, definitely stands out. Okay. This site once held the Josiah Fisk Mansion, a private home demolished to make way for Roth's new luxury tower, marking Fifth Avenue's shift from mansions to elegant co-ops. Okay. Some people say it is discreet luxury. The design is restrained, flat limestone walls, subtle pilasters, and delicate balcony railings creates a timeless elegance. I mean, what do you guys think? I just think it's eye candy, me personally. It is restrained. It's not like, it's ornate, but it's not like obtuse. It's not like, too much. It's not too crazy. And it is a co-op building. So let's see what units we're going for in this. Well, so they currently have one unit available for sale, 5-bed, 5.5 bath for almost $10 million, 4,000 square feet. Monthly maintenance around $17,000. Again, it is a 5-bed. So again, the bigger the units, the more usually the monthly maintenance. So, pretty big property. And now for our final destination on Fifth Avenue this evening. This is the Frick Collection Museum. Was once the mansion for Henry Clay Frick. So if this is 2 East 70th, aka 884 Fifth Avenue, this right here is 1 East 70th Street. So this was designed by Thomas Hastings of the firm Prewar and Hastings, and it was completed in 1914 for industrialist Henry Clay Frick. Let's actually walk across the street so we can get a better view. So much better in person. This was built in the Beaux-Arts style with French limestone and classical details that echo grand Parisian townhouses. It was one of Fifth Avenue's great houses. This mansion is one of the largest surviving Gilded Age private homes still standing on Fifth Avenue. But now it is a museum. Isn't it gorgeous? So after Frick's death in 1919, the mansion was transformed into the Frick Collection Museum, opening to the public in 1935. So it houses works, the Frick houses works by Vermeer, Rembrandt, Velázquez, Goya, Fragonard, and Whistler, among many others. It is a landmark status designated by the New York City Landmark Committee in 1973, and it's also listed on the National Register of Historic Places. Gorgeous. Like, everything about it is just gorgeous. In the 1930s, architect John Russell Pope oversaw the transformation of the house into a museum, including the famous garden court that we're looking into right now. Okay, gorgeous. Gorgeous. So, the Frick collection. The architecture, it's so stunning over here. Yeah, so this is what my research has brought for me today to share with you all. As you can imagine, Fifth Avenue and the space to get for Fifth Avenue, it ranges. But yeah, 1 bedrooms from what I'm seeing, $1 million, pretty easily. But at least the monthly maintenance is around $3,500 a month for the 1 bedroom. So if you want more space than that, obviously price goes up, right? But obviously, you know, just because it's more expensive doesn't mean it is better. It depends. But in New York, when it comes to square footage and space, definitely paying for more space. They're not going to let you just have that for free, especially at certain locations and addresses. It is what it is for New York, you know? But this is Fifth Avenue. We walked alongside from 57th Street. We started from Midtown Manhattan, Billionaires Row, 57th and 5th, 57th Street. And then we made our way to Fifth Avenue and up all the way north to 70th Street. And that's where we're gonna end our little walking tour today. This is like my first walking tour video, so forgive me for the quality of the presentation. I'm still working on it. I'm practicing, and I hope to get better at these, but I wanted to share what I'm seeing out here. I love New York. 2025 is gonna mark me being here for 11 years. Yeah, this December. 11 years as an adult. I was born here, but yes, 11 years as an adult. And I will say I really do love New York. They say you do become a New Yorker at year 10, right? So yeah, I am beyond that. And I really do feel passionately about New York, especially because there's so much history. It is centuries, years old. And there's so much history, so much development, and it has come a long way in terms of not just like physical development, but also societal development. So much that can be said about New York. And I just want to share, I guess, my journey about further learning New York, especially as a real estate agent. I do have experience with residential sales and rentals, mostly in Queens, Nassau County. I've also done in Westchester County. I've also done Nassau, Suffolk County, Kings County, and for both residential sales and rentals, done rentals in Manhattan. So yeah, I have experience with real estate, but Manhattan, I really, really want to focus more on, and I want to take you all with my journey to really learning Manhattan. It has a lot of just interest for a lot of different groups of people. And it's fascinating just learning the history, learning the market, and learning what people find of value and what people are willing to honestly pay for. Let me cross the street real quick. So I can show you all some of these buildings from here. Anyway, that's enough of me babbling on and on and on. Please comment down below your thoughts and feedback on any of the units or any of the buildings that we saw today. Were there any that caught your eye besides the ones that I spoke about that maybe you want to learn more about? Let me know. And let me know your thoughts on what the market is going on here for this particular part of town. Again, 5th Avenue between 57th to 70th Streets. Let me know your thoughts, feelings, comments, feedback. I'm looking forward to it. And thank you so much for watching all the way up to this point. If you did, I really appreciate it and would love it if you could type comment 100. Comment 100, meaning that you saw the entire video. And I would so greatly appreciate it if you also left a like. And if you wanted to share with other people that may be interested, that would mean the world to me as well. But yes, thanks for coming along with me on my little evening walk up the Upper East Side or up 5th Avenue. All right, until next time.